I am Dr. Saundra Russell-Smith. I'm a 30-year educator. I'm a former principal and a current district administrator. I want to share with you how I got from that scared third grader who would not raise her hand in class for fear of being teased to the person who stands before you today, confident in her stuttering and confident in helping other people to get from point A to point B. And I want to thank again my family for being here, because this is not something that I share with my family. Nobody else understands the journey. So for them to come and see me speak today means so much to me. So I'm going to give you my top 10 things that I did to get past my fears. And this is not in any type of order. It's just 10 things that I said, oh yes, these are things that I think I should point out to people, because one of them may help somebody else. Reach out for support, or in my case, let support reach out to you. This is the cover of the National Stuttering Foundation magazine that literally came to my school when I stayed late for work one day. I never stay late for work, but I stayed late for work on this one day, and this magazine was dropped off at my door. I didn't know there was such a thing as a National Stuttering Foundation. And when I looked through the magazine, there was an advertisement for the National Stuttering Association. Did not know that that was a thing. And so I signed up right then and there, and I went to my first conference in 2019, where I met the most incredible Pam Mertz, who has changed my life forever, and I'll tell the whole world that you changed my life forever. And so I attended the first National Stuttering Association conference, and I got a chance to talk to Pam, and Pam got a chance to talk to me. And she helped me unpack some things that I didn't know needed to be unpacked. And so reach out for that support, and let that support reach out for you, because it could be life-changing. Something else that I learned to do was talk to myself like I am my own best friend. People who stutter are their own worst critics. Let me change that around. I'm a person who stutters, and I am my own worst critic. I have learned to stop speaking negativity into my life, into myself, into my being, into my interaction with people. I have learned to speak positivity, but to start with myself. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're going to rock this presentation. You're going to rock that first date. You're going to rock that job interview. You are amazing. And as Iyanla Vanzant says, you are perfect in your imperfection. Believe that, embrace that, and tell yourself every day how amazing you are, because some days you'll be the only person who says it. Another thing that I did was got out of my comfort zone early and often. Yes, that's a picture of me giving a commencement speech at the University of St. Francis in the winter of 2021. 10-year-old Saundra would never have gotten on that stage and given anybody's speech. But the University of St. Francis thought enough to email me and say, hey, we want you to give the commencement speech. And of course, negative Nancy in my head, why would you want to do that? You don't want to go up there and speak and stutter in front of everyone. But I got out of my comfort zone. And that speech is somewhere on YouTube if you want to Google it and find it. And the amazing Maya Angelou says, if you are always trying to be normal, you'll never know how amazing you can be. For a black kid who grew up in Chicago on the South Side in the 70s and 80s to give a commencement speech, come on now. That is an amazing accomplishment. But I had to say yes first, and I'm so happy that I did. I got out of my comfort zone early and often. Something else that I had to do was to get comfortable saying, I am a person who stutters. I did not learn how to do that until my first conference at the NSA. I had to get comfortable and confident saying I'm a person who stutters, because I spent my whole life trying not to say those words. I didn't want anybody to know. I was Captain Covert. Nobody knew. My cousin Paul is here. He never knew I stuttered because I sounded like the people in our family. He never knew. And a lot of people who know me, they don't know that I'm a person who stutters because I never said anything. And now I feel like I'm out and proud because I'm standing here at a conference speaking about my stuttering, even though 10-year-old Saundra is still in there going, no, don't say anything, because they're going to know that you stutter. But Saundra of today says it's okay that they know that you stutter. This is a picture of me participating in an event called the Human Library, where I was a human book that was checked out for people to listen to my life story. And so my title was, I'm a Black woman who stutters. And that is me speaking for 2.5 hours about being a Black woman who stutters. That was therapy for me. It was something interesting for them, but it was therapy for me because I got to speak my truth to people who had no skin in my game, but got a chance to hear what my life was like. And it was wonderful and cathartic for me to be able to share my truth to people who don't know me. And it was an amazing experience. Another thing that I had to struggle with was giving myself grace. Somebody took this picture of me at a conference that I was at several years ago. And I remember the moment that I was standing up and asking this question. I'm actively stuttering as I asked this question, and somebody thought it was okay to take a picture of me doing that. And I've seen myself in the mirror stutter before, but to have this emblazoned on a giant canvas in front of the world to see is a humbling experience. But again, this is a lesson and practice for me to give myself grace. I'm not gonna always get it right the first time, or the 5th time, or the 115th time. It's okay. I have to practice giving myself grace. Lisa Nichols, one of my favorite motivational speakers, said that people are going to choose you not because you've never been knocked down, but with the gracefulness with which you get up. And every time, thank you, that is powerful, because we are going to get knocked down 50, 75, 100 times, but every time we get back up, we need to give ourselves that grace, because we can and we will do it. And this is one thing that Pamela taught me. I put on my cape and I accepted my stutter as my superpower, because who else do I know can stand up in front of a room full of strangers and talk about what used to be one of my most deepest, darkest, most covert secrets, that I'm a person who stutters. Once I embraced my stutter as my superpower, ooh, my life changed. I was able to do things, say things, go places, talk to people that I had never thought about talking to before, because I was scared, I was nervous. What would people say? I found it doesn't matter what they say. It matters more what I say about me. And as I give myself grace, and as I accept my stutter, and as I accept all the other things about me that I thought were bad, but just are parts of me, now I get to stand on the stage in front of a national conference and speak my truth. And that is a superpower. Joseph Campbell says the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. And whoever you are, you have the privilege of a lifetime of being you. The next thing I did was understand that it is okay and expected to evolve. My good friend, Dr. Shaniqua Jones, who's a restorative justice practitioner, says that the person you were, the person that you are, and the person that you are becoming should not be the same person. So I look at 10-year-old Saundra, who was afraid to speak and raise her hand, to talk in class and let Robert Record call her mixed master and shut her up for years. And then I look at Dr. Saundra Russell-Smith, the educator, the principal, the leader in her community, and I say, wow, she's awesome. Then I think about my next 10 to 20 to 30 years, and I wonder, who am I going to be? Because if that second picture is any indication, whoo, I got my work cut out for me. Because don't forget, I wear a cape. My stutter is my superpower. So if I can get that far, who knows where I'm going to go? And never miss a chance to connect with to connect with your people, even if they're on the other side of the world. I had the opportunity recently to visit Ghana. And I told Pam, I'm going to Ghana. And Pam said, connect with the president of the National Stuttering Association. I said, they stutter in Ghana too? Who knew? I had no clue. But there's an executive director of the Ghanaian Stuttering Association, and I got to talk to him for 2 hours. And we connected so immediately. When you talk to a person who stutters, you have that instant connection because you have those same doubts and fears, and you have those same things about yourself that you don't want to share with anyone else. But when you talk to a person who stutters, who gets it, oh man, all that other stuff just falls away, and your truth comes out in a way that honors the both of you during that conversation. And he's a recent newlywed, and we still are in connection, and it is amazing to have a friend on the other side of the world who understands what a bad stuttery day feels like. Another piece that I tried to do was to know myself and then accept myself. That is a picture of me on my last day as an assistant principal before I accepted my principal position. And those girls that are around me were sad that I was leaving them because I was the first and only administrator of color that they had ever known. So I know that my presence in some spaces is cathartic, that my presence is necessary, and that I have an effect on young girls who look like me. And I know that when I know myself, when I know myself, I am empowered. But when I accept myself, stutter and all, I am invincible. The last piece that I'll leave you with is to advocate for yourself. Audre Lorde says that your silence will not protect you. And my South Side cousin said, hey, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you want something, if you need something, if you desire something, whether it be for yourself, for your spouse, for your children, for your best friend, advocate for them. That picture of me, I'm speaking to a group of veterans at my school. But I saw that I remember that picture was there. And that to me is a signal that I'm advocating for myself and for others, many of whom cannot advocate for themselves. And I'll leave you with this. What's on the other side of your fear? I'm not sure, but on the other side of my fear is freedom. Thank you.